And I think most of you in the audience probably have come in contact with Terry and know what a great job he did at Al Lees. So, Mr. Terry Lewis. Thank you very much. Greetings to all of you. I want to use this opportunity to say thank you to the people of Allen East for the greatest years of my life. I didn't get a chance to say that before, so I'll say it now. And greetings to the class of '97. You made it. You made it. You know, I was supposed to graduate from Ohio Northern University in the spring of 1966. I couldn't because I was here teaching school. So I got enough credits to graduate in August of 1966, but Mr. Goodwin wouldn't let me go. We had 2-a-day football practices. So I told Ohio Northern, I said, send my diploma in the mail. I had never been in the university president's office before. We had quite a conversation. The last thing I remember him saying to me was, you don't know what you're missing. And as I slammed the door, I said, you don't know what you're missing. They sent my diploma in the mail. So tonight, I'm going to use this graduation to replace the one I never had. So thank you for asking me. By the way, class of '97, I am not impressed by diplomas. You might have guessed that. I don't care if you have a PhD from Harvard. They're still nothing but pieces of paper. I'm not impressed by money either. I don't care how many millions you accumulate, they're nothing but pieces of paper. What I do care about, and what I want to share a few words to you about tonight, is how you treat the people that you meet in this world. That's what really makes a difference. If you want to be a success in this world, you have got to learn how to treat the people that you meet. I want to share 2 words with you. I know you don't want to hear me talk, but maybe 2 words that you could use, that you could remember, and they are unconditional and positive. I hate to shop. I can't stand to shop. If I go to the grocery store, some of you are like me, I know. I run back, I get the milk, I get the loaf of bread, and I head for the express lane. Don't you love that express lane? 7 items or less. So imagine I go around the corner with my loaf of bread, and there comes this huge woman with a shopping cart filled with at least 2,000 items. And she goes right in front of me. The word is unconditional. I don't have a right not to love her. I don't have a right any right at all to treat her with disrespect. You could always say, she's stupid. She can't read. She's rude. But the word is unconditional. Can you say to that woman, hello, are you having a nice day? My, you look lovely today. You know, every year when kids came into my classroom, I got all these stories. I never had them in school yet, but they were already pointed out. This one's no good, that one's in the office, this one's a jerk, that one doesn't study. And it was a test every year to walk into that classroom and love each one unconditionally. I don't care. That's what makes you a success. I read a story when I was working on World War I that I will never forget. I probably already shared it with you. I'll share it with you tonight. William Sororia was growing up in America in 1915 when the Germans were sinking ships and causing all kinds of mischief. And he said everywhere he went, if he went to church, the minister said, hate the Germans. If he went to school, the teacher said, hate the Germans. If he sat around the dinner table with his parents, they said, hate the Germans. So he and his friends got in a tree in a backyard, and every day they played Torture the Kaiser. And they made up all these tortures. That's what these little kids were doing. And the longer you could make the Kaiser suffer, the better you were. And what did that lead to? They happened to think one day the little boy living down the street, who had never done any of them any harm, was a German. So am I. So are a lot of you. So they went down to the boy's house. They knocked on the door. The boy's mother said he wasn't home. They waited on him. When he came down the street, they walked up to him and said, "Are you a German?" "Yes." "Do you hate the Kaiser?" "No, I don't hate anyone." And they beat him up. They kicked him, they threw him on the ground, they punched him. His mother came out and saved him. And William Sororian said late that night, as he lay in his bed as a child, he began to realize you cannot put conditions on who you love. You cannot dislike someone because they're a German, because of the color of their skin, because of whether they got money or they don't have money. Please remember that one word: unconditional. The other word is positive. I think you all know Abraham Lincoln was ugly. He was really ugly. He wrote a letter to a friend about his girlfriend, Mary Owens, and he said she doesn't have any teeth, but she doesn't have any wrinkles. She's too fat to have wrinkles. And you know what? He asked Mary Owens to marry him, and she turned him down. Now, is that ugly? So one day he was riding his horse through the woods, and the lady was riding in the other direction, and their paths crossed. So Abe stopped, and the lady stopped. She looked at him. He looked at her, and she said, "My, you're ugly." And Abe said, "I can't help it, ma'am." She said, "Well, at least you could stay home." Well, isn't that the way it is with us, though? She could have looked at Abraham Lincoln and said, "What? My, you're tall. My, you ride a horse well." No, my, you're ugly. The word is be positive. I know it's hard as a teacher to be positive about a student who writes, "Abraham Lincoln was born in a log cabin he built with his own hands." It's hard to be positive sometimes. It's hard to be positive when a kid writes, "Thomas Jefferson, a virgin, was a singer of the Declaration of Independence." But somehow we've got to be positive towards each other. I'm going to share one story with you, once again, that I will never forget because it's changed my life and helped me get through these 31 years of teaching. You all know Huckleberry Finn. He was a bad boy. He didn't go to school. Wow, that's bad. He didn't go to church. He was a bad boy. He smoked, he drank, he swore. He was a bad boy. He was also an abused child. His father was an alcoholic. So he decided, I'll run away from home. That's a bad boy, running away from home. He had a friend with him, an escaped slave named Jim. And they got on their raft and they traveled only at night and hid in the daytime. And at night, imagine, lying on your back on a raft in the Mississippi River and looking up at the stars. And they had a conversation. Huck said, Jim, when we get to Cairo, what are you going to do? Jim said, I'm going to get a job. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to buy my wife and my children. And Huck said, what if your master won't sell them? And Jim said, then I'm going to steal them. And Huck, who was a bad boy, thought, wow, this is the worst thing I've ever done. He's going to steal his wife and children from some man that never did me any harm. I've got to tell. So he said, Jim, there's a light over there. That might be Cairo. I'm going to go check. Jim helped him get in the canoe. He's in the canoe. And Huck's paddling away to tell on Jim. And Jim says, there you go. My old friend, Huck. The onlyest white friend old Jim ever had. And Huck starts out. He gets about a quarter mile away. A big boat comes around the corner, filled with white men with guns and torches. And they say, are you from that raft out yonder? Yes. Are you alone out there on that raft? No. Well, we're looking for some escaped slaves. Is your man white or black? White. And the boat goes on down the river, and Huckleberry goes back with Jim, and on the way back, Huck says, ain't no use of me being good. I'm not used to it. I can't do it no how. Huckleberry wasn't bad, was it? You gotta be positive. He didn't go to school, he didn't go to church, he smoked, he drank, he swore. Deep down inside, there was a mighty fine person there. Now, some years ago, something happened to me. I have a hard time telling you this. This is the last thing I'm going to tell you, but I don't want you to ever forget this. We went down to North Carolina to visit relatives, and it was graduation time. There was a girl down there who graduated from high school, went to 2-year college, 2 years, brought her homework home every night. Came Sunday graduation day, her and her family went to church, her mother and father went to church, came home, she left for the school. They went later, they sat in the auditorium, looked at the program, and their daughter's name wasn't on the program. And then they watched. One student after another got their diplomas, and their daughter wasn't one of them. They drove home, went in the house, and found her dead in her room. She had committed suicide. I told you I have a hard time telling you this story. She had a job. She had been working for 2 years. She went to the library and got books and brought them home. She couldn't tell her mother and father. And every time I think of that story, I think of those 2 words, unconditional. Can you imagine your own parents thinking that your parents didn't love you unless? Can you imagine? The other word is positive. Sometime in that 2 years, why didn't somebody say something positive to that young lady? You're okay. You're doing fine. If you really want to be a success in life, you've got to love people. And that love has to be unconditional and positive. Thank you.
I think we can all see what a privilege it would have been to have been in Terry's class every day. It's a great job. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to introduce the Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Joel Scott, and he'll present the class for graduation.
Good evening. Having Terry here tonight, I can't help but flash back a little bit when I was middle school principal. And of course I had to go in and evaluate teachers. I looked so forward, and that was a tough part of your job, but you go into Terry's room and I end up spending the entire afternoon because he never repeated a story. It was wonderful. And they all had a meaning to it. Before we begin the presentation of diplomas, there are two introductions I need to make. First of all, representing Apollo Career Center is Greg Bukowski, their treasurer. Thank you for coming, Greg. Apollo, as you know, is an integral part of the educational program offerings for our students. We thank Greg for being here this evening. I also would like to introduce Mr. Tim Fetter, President of the Allen East Board of Education, who will assist in the presentation of diplomas. Tim, you like it? This morning at graduation practice, a number of awards were presented to the students. We want to congratulate all of them and everyone in the class for what they've achieved. We're very proud of you. Class, our best to you and your future plans. You have been great to work with. We really enjoyed it. You ready? On behalf of the Allen East Board of Education, I certify that the following students have met the requirements of the state of Ohio and the Allen East local schools for graduation.
Which one's the battery? They both okay, the battery. The one Dempsey really cool.
Amy Jo Adkins. Jonathan Jacob Alexander. Karen Renee Arthur. Heath David Augsburger. Nathan Mark Bailiff. Russell G. Bowerman. Jeremy Scott Boyer. Daniel Matthew Caldwell. Stephanie Ann Callahan. Susan Renee Carmen. Nathan Brock Cars. Jeremy A. Klum. Raya Allen Cole. William David Matthew Contras. Jason Michael Cook. Misty Dawn Cornett. Dwayne Brian Curl. Hope Marie DeCourcy. Kenneth Charles Gray. Bethany Barbara Ernest. Brittany Caroline Foster. Jeremy Daniel Foster. Jason Mark Gerber. Brian David Gershutz. Moses Andre Gonzalez. Randall Dale Gossard. Eric Joseph Gossman. Jamie Michelle Gum. Lisa Sue Guyton. Jamie Lynn Harrison. Melissa Nicole Hawkins. Brian Lee Hefner. Melinda Christine Hefner. Jill Marie Hobensack. Lisa Renee Holloway. Nicole Lee Kirchenfall. Corey Michael Ketchum. Leanne Christine Kruger. Jared Douglas Lawrence. Amanda Beth Lehman. Jody Marie Lewis. Lisa Mai Livingston. Corey William Luke. Laura Marie Mackey. Nathan Edward Marshall. Danielle Marie Mason. Joshua Preston McKinley. Christopher Ryan Miller. Janelle Marie Miller. Martin Lee Miller. Rachel Michelle Mumong. Kyle William Nungester. Stephen James Oglesby. Robert Mitchell Paget. Monica Lee Patton. Joseph Arthur Payne. Shauna Nicole Phipps. Amy Leanne Palfer. Christina Lynn Marie Thomas Richard. Keith Allen Rockhill. Wendy Elaine Byers Shaw. Melissa Sue Schilling. Nicole Marie Skyber. Rachel Ann Sloan. Jason Lee Smith. Jessica Ann Smith. Stephanie Rochelle Smith. Tenny Marie Smith. Berdella Janelle Stevens. Patricia Ann Stevens. Tracy Lynn Stevens. Michelle Lynn Sweeney. Richard Warren Worling III. Jason Scott Wheeler. Amber Renee Wilder. Jeremy Dwayne Wilkins.